Strawberry picking day. Is it yummy? Oh my. Okay. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's been a solid 45 minutes of phone calls and text already this morning. We are busy. We are going to finish the anhydrous at Waldron today. Going to do it. However, we're running some seed around first. I had some replant beans to go to a customer. He's got some corn that I need to pick up. That corn has to go to another customer along with some more that's on my trailer, along with 4 boxes of beans that's on my trailer. So we're going to go there after we pick it up. And then that customer has some full season corn he wants to return. He's got some empty packaging. Actually, both places have empty packaging. We're doing all of that. I've got another guy looking for early beans to finish planting. I've got another guy that's needs to pick up a box of replant. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. But we're going to finish side dressing today and try and get a tractor moved to Berkey. So, good morning. Okay. We have made our second stop. We got full trailer load coming back. I don't even know how many empty boxes we got. Let's see. 4, 8, 12, 15, I think. And 2 full boxes and a couple pallets. That's good. That is good. However, the day is getting away from us. It's 11 o'clock already. I feel like I'm getting nowhere. Like I was hoping to be back in side dressing by now. That's not happening. I also got another phone call for somebody else looking for seed. I got 3 boxes to treat as soon as we get back. Yeah, this is going to kill the day. We might not make it to Berkey today, which means it's fine. It's fine. It just means that it's going to be Wednesday evening before I finish side dressing instead of Wednesday morning. It's fine. But yeah, this is not what I wanted to be doing this morning. No, I shouldn't say that. It's part of the business, right? It's part of doing seed. Is when people need stuff, you got to take care of them. I just was hoping to get side dressing done. I'm sure Phil's wondering what I am doing and where I'm at, but it's okay. We are so far ahead of the game and most in the area that it's okay. I can take that morning and do this and not worry about it. All right, I got back and the new seed company intern was here. He's needed some corn seed for somebody to transfer out. So he is doing that. And I got him all loaded up. He didn't have a strap. I made him put a strap on. It's all good. All right, because we have nothing else to do today, right? Sarcastically. Now we've got 3 boxes of beans to treat, so we're gonna run these real quick. And supposedly the guy's gonna be here any minute to pick them up. So that's good. Get them done. Okay, I got those 3 boxes treated. That's done. Tagged, lids back on, and I got my trailer unloaded and everything put away. I thought that guy was going to come and pick these beans up. He's not here yet. I had told him an hour to an hour and a half, and that was an hour and a half before I even got back, so whatever. Anyway, it's time for us to go put anhydrous on, and we can throw any thoughts of trying to get to Berkey out for today, because that's just not going to happen. We just need to hurry up and get the stuff here done. That's the new goal. Get done here. But Phil's been hauling tanks for us all morning, so we got anhydrous around. We'll get one of these full ones there hooked up, and let's go. Maybe we're gonna get the anhydrous today. Screw it, I don't know. Our tile guy is up looking at our irrigation field to try and get this pipe dug in. So Dad's on his way up. He's behind me back there. He's got our Z pipes and some of the fittings and stuff that we need, and I'm going to drive up there and just kind of make sure everybody's on the same page. I can't stick around there, but we can at least make sure that everybody knows what's going on. Okay, well, we got them figured out up there at the irrigation field. They're not coming today. It's a lay pipe, but this week hopefully Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I don't know. It's gonna be a little later than I was hoping. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. But we're gonna go start putting anhydrous on. So we've got 20 acres to go in the field that I had started yesterday when I was doing my live stream. We're actually not going there right now. We're going to our new farm. That last 40 that we planted, the corn's pretty small yet, but we can go and do it. We don't need very much anhydrous on there because we spread some urea ahead of planting. So we're only gonna put on about 60 pounds and maybe. Okay, we are off here in our new farm. I don't know how long do I get to call this the new farm? Anyway, this was the last corn that was planted. You can tell it's still very small. We've got another week before we probably should be here or need to be here. More than that before we would need to be here, but we're gonna be done today, and I'm not bringing the tractor back till after wheat harvest, so we're doing it. The other thing is, this is one of the fields that I had some dry fertilizer spread on this spring, so it's already got 100 pounds of nitrogen applied to this farm via the dry broadcast, plus the 30 pounds we put on with the planter, which means we've already got 130 pounds of nitrogen out here. We don't need that much more. So we're putting on another 60, which is probably too much. 198 pounds of N on this field is probably a little high. The thing is, I have no history on it. I have no idea what kind of corn yields to expect out here. And if we have good growing conditions and good weather, and I know I've got a good hybrid out here, despite the late planting date, 200 bushel corn is not out of the question. And so we're gonna fertilize it like, yeah, we're gonna get 200 bushel corn. So I'm putting 190 pounds of N on total. That's a little less than 1 pound of N per bushel of yield goal, and I think that's doable. The stand actually looks really good. Outside of the end rows and the few spots that were obviously wet, there's corn here. There's good corn here. And so we're off to a good start, albeit a little bit of a late one, but I think we're fine. So 190 pounds of N, I maybe don't need that much. This may only be 160 bushel corn. Who knows? It all depends on the weather from here on out. But the last thing I'm going to do is short myself if we have good conditions and we end up with a good crop, or potentially a good crop. I don't want lack of nitrogen to be the reason that we don't have a good crop. So anyway, that's another 60 pounds of N via our anhydrous side dress, and we're doing it now just because we want to get it done and be done side dressing up here. And this tank will do this whole field plus quite a bit more. So I'll be curious to see how full it is when we're done here, because we brought a full tank. So definitely not using it up very fast. We are 28 acres into this field. We wouldn't be empty by this point, but we'd be getting close usually. This is going to be a good farm. It needs some work. It needs tile desperately to eliminate things like that spot where it's wet and there's no corn there, but the rest of it looks pretty good, and there's some decent soil out here. So I think it's going to take us about 4 or 5 years to get it into shape, but it's going to be a good one. All right, well, this one's done. 40.22 acres, about right. We've got 2,600 pounds of N left in our tank. Or just over half, right about half. Should do close to 15 acres, probably not 20, so we're probably not gonna finish that field on one tank, which is okay. We've got another one ready to go. So let's head over and get that 20, and then we're down to 90. Yep, this is definitely bigger corn. Makes a difference. So we've got that way done. We've got all the ends done. We just got to get over to that line. It's about 20 acres. I don't think this tank will be quite enough. It says we can do about 14, but that's depends on the rate zone that we are in. So yeah, should be good. We'll just finish her up here. So in the last video from Saturday, you'll remember we were side dressing some corn that was pretty ugly looking stuff. A field that was planted in not great conditions. That field is directly on the other side of those trees. That's the river that we talk about here. It's our St. Joe River, which I get it. It's not a big river, but it's still the St. Joe River. Anyway, that field is just on the other side of it. It is amazing how much different the soil types and conditions are just from that side of the river to this side of the river, because this corn was planted roughly the same time, actually a day or two later, and it's beautiful. And this is going to be really great corn. The stuff across it's ugly. It's not going to be great. So I'm happy with this. Well, we were about 2 or 3 rounds short of finishing with this tank. So Phil was actually just here, and I talked to him and said I thought I was going to be short. So he's on his way to grab the full tank that we've got back at the farm. We'll drive back up here by the driveway, get it unhooked from the empty, and wait for him to get back. On to our last group of fields here. This is the group of fields that we planted immediately before I noticed I was missing a closing wheel on the corn planter. You guys remember that? So it's possible it's laying out here somewhere. It's more likely it's in the next 2 fields down the road. We've got kind of 2 small fields here that total about 30 acres. We've got 2 more fields down the road that total about 60 or 65 acres, 90, 95 total between all of them. And that's it. That's the last of the corn to side dress here at Waldron. These fields were, let's just say this corn looks amazing for the conditions that it was planted into. There's some stuff out here that was pretty rough, pretty soft when we planted it. Most of it was fine, but even where you can tell that it was a little soft because we got some ruts, the corn still looks really good. I'm happy with it. Speaking of, some stuff that was a little soft, here's what I mean. I have some evidence. There wasn't this much elevation change before the planter came through here. See this nice sidewall or mountain cliff we've got here? And then we got another one on this side. Not as bad anymore because I don't have a tractor dual there. That's just from the planter tire. This is where the tractor track, planter tire, and then my tank ran, and we got quite a rut here. This is what I call Southern Michigan ridge till. Yeah. Some areas of the country do this on purpose, where they ridge the ground up and they plant on top of beds. This is what happens when we do it when it's too wet. The fact that there's corn growing on top of that is it's impressive. Because like here, we don't have any corn, right? We got another one of these some Southern Michigan ridge till. That's what we got. You can see her all the way down there. This one is done. We had we had a full tank here that we swapped. Only needed it for 1 round in this field, but that's okay, it's done. Phil was here waiting on me to get it empty, and so he hooked onto that one and left with it real fast. And we are gonna head out down the road to the last group here. Well, most of this corn looks good too. There are some wet spots that it was probably wet when we planted. It's been wet since we planted, but it is a lot drier now than it was when we planted. And the way that I know this is because I drove through that spot over there today, and I would not have driven through that when we planted this. Not even come close to it. So yeah, it's a lot drier now. Heck, this ridge till over here is even flood irrigated. Look at that. On the last field here, there's like 26 acres in this one. Goes over to those trees there. There's a lane in between the 2 fields here, but there's this little point between those trees and the road and that house and it lays low. And I remember planting it and being quite nervous that we were not going to make it through it a couple of times. So yeah, it was really wet when we planted. The deer have clipped every one of those plants off on the ends anyway. It's okay. It'll be what it is. And we're not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, there's a spot over there where there's water in both sides of the row. This pass is all we've got left. But our tank is like empty. Are we going to make it? So far, I think we're going to make it. Cool. Got it. Sometimes these tanks run out with like 300 pounds remaining, it says. That one we made it down to 65, so we had another tank here just in case, but ended up not needing that one. So that's okay. We're done at Waldron. So it is 8:30. I am not going to drive the tractor to Berkey tonight. Just not worth it at this point. We'll take it in the morning. Phil can get these last couple of tanks taken back and then get down there and get us some tanks. We have a different supplier that we use for our Berkey farm that's actually super close. At least some of our fields. I guess where the cornfields are this year, it's 3 or 4 miles away, but we have some that are just a mile. So, yeah, that'll work. I am going to go ahead and drop this one here at this field because we're a lot closer to where it came from than the farm is. But we'll pull it up here by the driveway. I have somebody coming to get some beans in the morning, so I got to deal with that, and then we'll head out. So should be able to get a bunch done down there. We've got 280-ish acres to do. We probably will not get it done tomorrow, but if we could get 200 plus of it and the move, I would be pretty happy. Those vapor lines were bleeding off before I got my mask on. It's empty. Can you see? No. It's empty. It's actually past empty. Alright, good enough. Close the valve, get it unhooked. We'll go ahead and get fueled up and full of government juice and be ready for tomorrow. I didn't find my closing wheel today, darn it. Oh well. It was getting to be a long shot with as tall as the corn is getting. There is a possibility, so there is one more field that we did that day that we did not side dress today. There's like an 18-acre piece that we planted after we got done there. But that was one of the fields that we put on 100 pounds of urea or nitrogen via the urea. And I'm not side dressing that one at all. We're gonna go in with the Haggy and Y drop it here in a few weeks. And so that'll be the rest of our nitrogen up there. So decided not to do any anhydrous, which means I didn't get to look up there to see if I could find that closing wheel in it. Very well could be there, who knows?